We see headlines all the time telling us that mobile phone addiction is widespread, that it's something we need to be worried about. But are these pocket-sized gadgets really a problem? Are we all really addicted to our phones? Picture in your mind a teenager who spends many hours every day looking at a small rectangular object. He takes it wherever he goes, even to bed. And whenever he finds himself with some time to spare, he gives it all his attention. Often, he'd rather be alone with it than spend time with his family and friends. And when he's told to put the object down, he doesn't want to. He's glued to it. Does this young person have a problem? I'm guessing many of you probably think so. In fact, you probably wouldn't hesitate to call him a phone addict. But what if I told you that the small rectangular object this person was holding wasn't his phone? What if it were a book instead? Would that change how you feel? And would you still call it an addiction? I suspect most of you wouldn't. But what's changed? How is being glued to a book any different from being glued to a phone? Why does one feel okay, but the other feel like an addiction? To answer that, let's first make sure we understand what addiction really means. To be an addict, a person has to have an uncontrollable need to do, take, or use something that causes harm to oneself and often others too. And it's this idea of causing harm that separates books from phones. To most people, reading just doesn't seem to be very harmful, even when it's done a lot. In fact, most people think that reading is beneficial. The same isn't usually said of phones, which are often thought to decrease our attention spans, diminish our creativity, and affect our physical and mental health adversely. It doesn't help either that so many people can't seem to put their phones away. Studies in the US show that on average, people are on their phones for more than 20 hours a week. They check their phones about 340 times a day. That's about once every 4 minutes. However, while that may sound a lot like addiction, there may be a simpler, more innocent explanation for all that phone usage.